Ready to go, round 13, just 5 to go in the championship, and it's green from Mid-Ohio. The silver car of power gets the early jump. Newgarden looking to the outside. He may challenge him going into turn number 4. Newgarden in the blue car. Look at Sato in the other blue car, trying to challenge for third, and they will stay the same way they started. 1, 2, 3.
Simon Pagenaud, big start. He got around both Dixon and Castroneves, so he's on the move.
Will Power did a great job to break up the middle for the first corner and keep Newgarden guessing. Newgarden tucks in, and it's all clean further back.
It was a pretty quick start. They took off a little bit early, and I think Castroneves knew when those guys were going to go, and he got a jump, but he went through the grass on the back straightaway and lost his drive, and that allowed Pagenaud to get alongside of him. But a nice clean start as we see Andretti. Look at him on the move. He's already up to the back of his teammates already.
Charlie Kimball was all out of shape coming through turn 10, just hung on to the back of that car. A little surprised we don't see some more aggressive lunges here, Paul, as difficult as it's going to be to pass once you slot into race pace. Push to pass is not eligible on that first lap. We'll see when people start to use the overtake.
The biggest dive that I saw of anybody was Pagenaud. Made a big lunge down the inside of Castroneves and Dixon at the end of the straightaway. As we see some guys here, look at this, a run. You can go 2 abreast through here if he wants to stay there, but he backs out and plays fair, but you can do that 2 abreast.
Newgarden jumped on the push to pass button, and then Will Power responded with overtake and really is doing a great job out breaking his teammate down there in turn 4.
Sato slid into 3rd place, a great qualifying effort for him and the Andretti team, so he's slotted in, and Ray Hall in 4th right now.
Newgarden has done a great job of staying with Will Power. He is still going to be in position to pounce if Power makes any kind of mistake. Riding along now with James Hinchcliffe. He is in 11th.
He's right on the back of Andretti, but look at Andretti. He's all over the back of his teammate Rossi, so he's probably our biggest mover here in the first couple laps, having a good run.
That's the run into turn 1. Remember, we started around the kink going towards turn 4.
Map 3, next car back, Connor Daly.
Now watch as we see these cars go through, in particular James Hinchcliffe. He says here, the keyhole, turn number 2, not my best corner. That time, actually pretty good. He said, I was losing 0.2 of a second. If I can fix that corner, I'll be going for it. And here comes Ray Hall.
Sato's going to try to stay there. Ray Hall hits the apex, gets into Takuma Sato. Sato squeezed him down low. Ray Hall tried to avoid the contact by hitting the curb and then launched the car and just got into Sato. That was close. Hopefully not a cut tire for either driver.
I think Graham played it too nice. He had the line. He could have outbraked him, shoved him wide, but I think he just backed off and gave him a little bit of room. Sato closed the door on him, and these 2 guys made contact. You could rip your front wing off and really cause yourself a problem. You see here,
if anything comes off.
Yeah, Sato's turning in. They're going side by side, and I think Graham just wanted to back out of it. He's on the curb, and right there, they touch his front wing. That could have been disastrous for Graham.
Or for Sato with a cut right rear tire. I think Sato just squeezed Graham too tight to the apex and forced him to run the curb to avoid the initial contact.
Well, he's going to try to make another run right here. Let's see if he uses a push to pass. He's got
wide.
A clean line. He's going to come off, push to pass. He just hit it. So I think he got a bad drive right there. But look at Andretti around the outside, push to pass, both of these guys.
And Marco has already picked up 4 spots. He's ahead, looking on board with James Hinchcliffe. Marco has moved from 14th to 10th, but Hinchcliffe wants that position. Second week in a row, the opening lap, racing in really close quarters. We love that with Team Penske. They go after it.
They really do, and you know, with the championship up for grabs, all 4 Penske drivers have a legitimate chance.
I just saw in the background, Andretti has gotten by his teammate Rossi, but look at this guy, Ray Hall. He's really trying hard. He's back on the button. Looked like he might have turned it off. Rossi is peeled off, so.
Oh,
Newgarden, a battle for the lead. Joseph Newgarden is going to get around his teammate. Newgarden gets by Will Power to take the lead in Mid-Ohio.
Wheel 3 there, not wheel 1, wheel 3.
These guys have really streaked away from the rest of the field. They got a pretty big gap back to Sato, and I really didn't think, Townsend, that he was going to make a move on him, but he got a nice run here, and he just goes over under. That's a slick move right there.
That was nice.
Wow. Joey Newjive just put it on him.
Well, he faked it high, showed high. Power was just into the brake zone and thought Newgarden would stay there at the last second. He absolutely snaked him up the inside, and now he's gone.
He's taken off. He just totally shake and baked him.
He really did.
Ryan Hunter-Reay just needs to get off sequence. Was caught up in a bunch of traffic there. He's going to put on scuffed blacks and be on his way.
James Hinchcliffe also taking this opportunity a little bit early in the pit window to try to make some changes. He's not been happy with the car. He's going with new reds.
Marco Andretti is the biggest mover of the race so far, as you see James Hinchcliffe pull off of pit lane. Marco Andretti coming down to his pit box. He is extremely happy with his car today, which is quite a change of what we've seen recently. He's going to go for the blacks when he finally does make it to pit lane, guys.
He's gone. Wow. In a half a lap, he is just taken off from Power. Look at that gap. That's like a 3-second gap already, Townsend.
Well, we'll have to see what kind of lap time he does.
Rahal really needs to find a way by Sato, and he might have a shot at second in this race, but I think, oh, nice run right here. Nice run.
He's got him. Graham Rahal into third.
Don't leave that door open, because they'll be back on push to pass, but he's got to go right now, go like crazy and get Power before the pit stops.
There's Marco Andretti in the pit. He had been making nice movement up through the pack in this race.
Marco's going to come out right with his teammates here. Might be battling Hinchcliffe up at the keyhole here. So Marco Andretti on cold tires. Here comes Hinch.
Slotted back into basically exactly where he was. So going a lap further than those guys really didn't help him leapfrog those guys. But he's got to hang on here. Hinchcliffe's got to run. They're both on push to pass.
Marco's doing the fade.
And Hinch is not quite close
Oh, he
enough.
opens the door for him, though. Let's see what happens here in the brake zone. Hinchcliffe should go for it and dive in.
That's big braking on cold tires for Andretti. Nice job holding off the guy on hot tires. Power's going to go by on the exit maybe here.
I don't know. He's going to block up the inside, Paul. Graham Rahal's going to stick hard right here and force. Whoa! Force Will Power around the outside. Really hard here on the cold black tires to find the grip on the outlap.
Checked him up on the braking zone. I think Will Power wanted to go around the outside. He's on push to pass, so he's going to protect the inside and make him go the long way. This is going to get dicey.
Looking outside.
Power trying to go around the outside and outbrake him into turn number 4, and job done for Will Power.
Great driving, great racing, nice and clean. That's how you do it, boys.
We're told the contact between the teammates, Rossi and Hunter-Reay, is under review.
Yeah, I'm not sure they're going to find much other than two guys going for a tight piece of racetrack, but let's look at it again. This is a lot like Rahal and Sato earlier. Rossi has the nose up there, but squeezes Hunter-Reay a little tight. Hunter-Reay hits the apex curve just like Rahal did earlier. They touch, and unfortunately for RHR, he gets turned around.
And Ryan Hunter-Reay came screaming over the radio and said he just turned right across my front nose. Not a happy Ryan Hunter-Reay whatsoever. He's not going to be happy with that decision from the race stewards.
So now Dixon is hoping he gets something like what he got at Toronto. He needs a yellow before everyone else takes pit stop number 2.
Well, it came in Toronto.
He needs a phantom yellow like Toronto, and it came at Toronto via his teammate. Will that happen again?
I don't know if I'll fully go phantom yellow on that, but the coincidence was timely with Tony Kanaan on the outlap.
And we're going to throw on another set of reds here. Very unexpected Ed Jones stop here. Katie.
And Max Chilton just made his second stop of the day. They stuck with those sticker reds. He's struggling, though. Can't seem to find grip on this Mid-Ohio track.
So all of those cars have been running back in the order. We haven't seen any of the leaders, other than Scott Dixon was running in 6th, make their second stop, but he had to come in early.
Now that Dixon is peeled off, we see now all these cars were stacked on top of each other, Townsend. Now they've all kind of spread out by about 8 or 9 car lengths from each other. They're obviously going faster, and it's pulled the accordion further apart.
It'll be interesting to see what Newgarden and Power and Rahal do on tires. They have the option to run either compound now through the rest of the race. Based on what I'm seeing out of Newgarden's pace, why risk it, right? Because you're going to have to run longer stints to the end. I would guess Newgarden would stay with the harder black compound.
Well, this track rubbers up so heavy here. He's just gone right here, but this track really rubbers and it rubbers and it rubbers, and it gets so physical I think you might want to go with blacks just from the physicality point of putting on reds.
But as the track rubbers up, it helps the reds to wear longer effectively. It's not as abrasive, the surface. We've seen that on some of the street circuits where once the rubber fills in the grooves, that the red tire will last longer.
And Townsend, you asked me during the break, what do you think on tires? What's going to happen? Well, Graham Rahal just was on the radio and said, you know, guys, I think the reds are better for me, and that's a shock. Because Paul Tracy, you mentioned earlier that Graham Rahal was smoking fast all weekend on the blacks. He now's called in and said, my choice is reds. This will be interesting for the final couple stints.
Track temp now up to 116 degrees, so continues to rise here under the hot Ohio sun. Ambient's only 81, but the track temp is what really matters in terms of tire wear.
For Graham Rahal, it's only been in recent years that he's been successful in the track that means the most to him, likely outside of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, but this is his home track. He averaged a finish of around 16 his first 6 or 7 visits here, but he's been top 5 the last 3 years, including that win 2 years ago. Right now, Rahal runs in 3rd, but he's got to get on his giddy up to be able to catch the young man from Tennessee, Joseph Newgarden.
Young man from Tennessee almost threw it off into the weeds there, exiting turn 9. It doesn't get any closer than that.
You hang it out on that curb, Towns, you get stuck on the other side of it, and then you go for a ride. Very, very easy to loop it around there.
There's Power running in 2nd. He started on the pole. Newgarden got by him with a clean, very nifty pass on the backstretch on lap 13 and has sailed away since. And there's the leader, Joseph Newgarden, rolling down pit lane at 50 miles per hour, Katie.
Team president, Team Cindric, just said over the radio that Joseph is extremely happy with the car. They're going to go for sticker reds during this middle stint, and you see the adjustment there, just a little bit of front wing.
Like that call for Joseph Newgarden, that's the insurance policy. Get in early, don't stretch it too long, don't get caught out on a yellow.
So calm, so smooth, those Penske guys just nail those stops.
And look at this, beautiful piece of clean racetrack as Marco Andretti hits pit lane.
And Marco Andretti has just slowly been working his way up through the field. He's extremely happy with the car. They're just making little adjustments each and every time he comes into the pits, but not this time. Kevin?
Newgarden got out in front of several, as we see Connor Daly making his 2nd stop. Newgarden beat out people like Castroneves and Sato, who are running near the front, who haven't stopped for the 2nd time. That's how well it's going for Joseph Newgarden.
Yeah, that's how well timed that pit stop was from Team Penske and Tim Cindric, because Newgarden has just clean air, clean racetrack in front. He can get right back into record pace.
There's Will Power. He was running 2nd and taking over the lead when Newgarden went to the pit lane.
They have been feeding Will Power a fuel number, but we'll see if many, yes, we can see in the background, the other Penske teammates, including Simon Pagenaud, will be taking this opportunity to stop. Only a small adjustment on Power before they send him, while we watch to see this relationship on the racetrack. A little bit waiting on fuel. That was 7.5. Wow, that actually is a very good stop for Simon Pagenaud. Let's see where he cycles in.
Look at how quickly Simon Pagenaud absolutely dumped Rossi and took off. Pagenaud on blacks, Rossi on the reds. I'm starting to think that there's really going to be a debate whether you finish on black or reds, as Rossi's pace is really falling off.
All right, we talked with Sebastien Bourdais at Toronto, got a really good report a couple of weeks ago, and it was hinted that he might be back in the car sometime soon. Let's find out more on Pit Lane with Robin.
Well, we got a better report because he really likes Ohio, but he's going to stay an extra night because tomorrow he finally gets back in an IndyCar 10 weeks after he got hurt. Kid, I know you're looking forward to this, but you look so good, it looks like you could jump in today.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be there and getting back in the car if I wasn't ready, but you know, for now it's just testing. We'll see how it goes, kind of an evaluation day. I know after, you know, cars get transferred to ovals and everything, the doctors were okay with me getting back in the car on the 15th, and they said, yeah, 2 weeks ain't gonna make big of a difference, and physically I'm feeling good, so we'll give it a shot tomorrow, because after that, then we go to 2 ovals, and you know, timing gets a little crazy, and I probably wasn't gonna get an opportunity to test, so we're just, everybody's here, everybody's just having to stay one night over for me, and then we can do a few hours of testing, feel it out, and see how it goes.
You got no cane. Do you have any pain?
No, I mean, actually I was doing the yard yesterday, so I'm feeling really good. It's rehab turned into workouts and pretty quick, so it's definitely seeing a lot of progress, and it's not linear, but you know, the guys in St. Pete taking care of me, they've done a really good job. We have kind of been pushing each other like within limits, but yeah, it was definitely good to, you know, just get back on the bike and just do everything more normal.
I'm not sure if it's your physical shape or your mental condition that got you back fast.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, the first 6.5 weeks before weight bearing, really, I don't think it made much of a difference. But then after that, obviously, you know, they kind of give you 2 weeks to go weight bearing, and I could walk straight away, which, you know, obviously we had worked on trying to reduce the muscle loss and everything, and that worked. So from there, the time to get back to 100% obviously diminished rapidly, and that was the big thing, you know, for me. Once I got to the point where I could walk, and then I started to get some feel again and build the muscles and get my butt cheek back and everything, you know, and stabilize the hip. And it was all good. So now it's definitely good. The pain is pretty much gone. You know, it's mostly only a little sore if I work out really hard, but it's just muscle pain. There's no bad pain that comes out.
Great, good to see you, brother. Have fun tomorrow in your 4 hours of driving. PT, he said he misses you.
You remember in our interview earlier that John Boslog said they were saving some sticker red tires for Will Power. Well, that's the exact same scenario for Graham Rahal. He said he likes the reds better. Remember, we see Simon Pagenaud is also going to be here at the same time. Wow, that was a crossover between the two teams. No contact. Graham Rahal gets underway. We look to see what they're going for. Aha, another set of red stickered sidewall Firestones. That seems the way to go. If you can get to the end here and save yourself a set. Uh-oh, and a caution.
Ed Jones.
But everybody had gotten in among the contenders.
Except J.R. Hildebrand, it looks like.
Yeah, and he had just cycled up to 5th. He hasn't
Yeah.
been a factor all day, so that's Ed Jones, the rookie off. Blue and white car up front is Joseph Newgarden, who has dominated most of this race. Third in line is his teammate Will Power. The lap car of Gutierrez, second in line. Green again, restarting at Mid-Ohio. Power trying to dispatch of the lap car. He'll quickly go to the inside, but has to bounce back to the outside. Gutierrez locks him up. Power cannot gain the track position, and Newgarden is going to scoot away.
If I'm Will Power, I'd be like, what is this guy doing?
Gutierrez trying to outbrake Joseph Newgarden a lap down, and he's just flat in the way as Scott Dixon's trying to force his way through. Here comes Hunter Ray. Nice move from RHR. He makes 2 spots on that restart.
And big time success for this guy. We've talked before about him being on the brink of superstardom. Today, I think, is going to possibly be another day that we remember in the development of Joseph Newgarden.
Well, when's the last time you saw a guy come in his first year at Penske and not struggle like Simon Pagenaud did his first year, like Power did his first year, learning the systems, meeting all the new people, 400 employees, new engineers, new team managers, new radio guy, and this guy has just flourished in that environment, and now he's going to be the championship leader. He's Roger's new guy. Here's a guy right here that could spend 20 years like Castro Neves did.
And don't underestimate the benefit, the value that came with Tim Cindric moving over to Joseph Newgarden for this year. The president of Team Penske left the stand of Will Power to go to Joseph Newgarden, and that guy, I mean, there's nobody better in the business in terms of keeping your young driver calm, giving him the information he needs, and letting him go to work. Joseph Newgarden is going to come out of here if he wins this race with the championship lead and really the star of Team Penske.
Tim said he just wants to be there and see how this transition is going. It was challenging for Simon Pagenaud a couple of years ago, so they learned some things from that. So I'm in charge, I'm responsible, I might as well be there and make sure it's going the way we want it to go because we believe in Joseph Newgarden. It's not that they don't believe in the other drivers because the other 3 are still all championship contenders this year and as long as they're in a Penske car.
They believe and he's delivering.
Yeah, there's a reason. He is backing up what people have talked about for a few years. When is Joseph Newgarden going to get the chance? I think a lot of us love seeing him. We see Graham Rahal working on Will Power. Rahal, can he get second position?
26 seconds left to push to pass, 41 for Power. Power defended on the push to pass late on the straightaway, so Graham Rahal is working the back end. of Will Power's car. Simon Pagenaud really hasn't had much for these two. I expected him to be a little bit more racy and kind of challenged, but the guy who's aggressive is Graham.
This is where the on-off push-to-pass, to me, you lose a little bit with the drivers being able to turn it on and turn it off as opposed to using, say, 15 seconds at a time, because Will Power can just tempt Graham Rahal. As soon as Rahal pushes it, Power turns it on for when he needs it, and it can be so frustrating for the trailing driver knowing that, yeah, it might be a little quicker, but he has more push to pass in the bag and can just keep that carrot ever so frustratingly in front of my nose.
Pagenaud's not too far behind there in the yellow car. And then Takuma Sato with a really good run today in fifth.
You see that Graham Rahal lost a little bit of that distance, bit of a gap now on Will Power. He this weekend, and he said actually for the last couple of years, they've had a tendency with this car that right in turn in, especially up there at that previous corner at the keyhole, it gets loose. So all of a sudden, as you said, Paul, he's been lightning fast. In the practice sessions, I asked, so did you guys finally find a cure to that problem? He says, no, I've just had to figure out how to drive around it and hang on. Doesn't seem to be a cure for it. I'm just throwing everything I have, caution to the wind. And right now, that can cause problems when you're in turbulent air.
Keep in mind the championship implications here in this battle for second place. It's not just to move up a step on the podium. Rahal in third. That's a difference of 5 points, and those two drivers, Power and Rahal, are still very much in the championship fight, as is Simon Pagenaud in fourth. Back there in that yellow car. That's a 3-point swing from third to fourth.
It's all kind of spread out here now. It's going to be Graham Rahal's really going to need to close up. There's only 2 to go here, so he's going to really need to have to close that gap in the next, in all the twisty parts of the track and get off up the keyhole well.
Well, and if I'm Will Power and I'm on the stand for Will Power, I'm saying, listen, burn up the push to pass now. Every straightaway you should be using it. You have 29 seconds left. There's a lap and a half to go. We don't want to leave anything on the table and risk Graham Rahal having a chance to make a lunge on the final lap.
Well, Power was just on it, and Rahal. Rahal down to 10 now, Power at 28. So it's advantage to Will Power, but Joseph Newgarden's got 74 seconds. He can push that thing all the way around the track for the next 2 laps.
He has absolutely schooled the field as Joseph Newgarden today. Just untouchable. White flag. Boy, what a pretty sight here. Mid-Ohio, glorious day. He's been denied twice before through no fault of his own. He's the fastest guy on track and nothing but clear track in front of him.
You know, we love to see side-by-side action going to the finish line, and that's always entertaining, but there's something to be said about a dominant, brilliant performance, and that's what Joseph Newgarden has delivered today.
He's on the push to pass again, so he's going to use it all the way around the track.
He wants fastest lap of the race. He has got a 106.0, Alexander Rossi with a 105.9. So Joseph Newgarden wants to find half a tenth to lay claim to full domination today. That's why he's on push to pass.
0 for Rahal. He is out of push to pass. Power, 11 seconds left. Pagenaud has 5, but right now, it is all Joey Newjive.
He heads into turn 10. Power in second just now through turn 9. A couple of turns to go. Joseph Newgarden will go back-to-back in IndyCar. He will take the championship lead for the first time. Joseph Newgarden dominates in Mid-Ohio. And just now, Will Power and Graham Rahal have crossed the line. Power holds on to second, and Rahal, Pagenaud, Sato the top 5.
And Joseph Newgarden's bad luck here at Mid-Ohio vanishes, and he gets back-to-back wins for Team Penske. Huge celebrations down here in Victory Lane for the 2-team. Joseph, the first 3-time winner in the 2017 season, and we're used to seeing people struggle in their first season with Team Penske, but not you.
Well, I got a great crew, you know. I mean, when they give me a car like this, it's pretty, I don't want to say it's easy, but it's easier at least. You know, I think we've been hitting on all cylinders, no pun intended, but these guys are awesome this weekend. Good stops. Just a really fast car. I mean, reds, blacks, didn't matter. I thought the car was fast, so I just tried to do my job. I think everyone's going to want to drive this PPG car. I'm pretty sure it was lucky for Pagenaud last year. I think it's lucky for us, so we're going to probably be fighting over this car paint.
You brought up how good your car was on both reds and blacks, but you were the only one in the top 5 in blacks on that last stint. Was that the difference?
I was a little bit worried, actually, to be honest. I think we could have been faster on reds, but, you know, we made that decision with the gap we had. I think we had about 10 seconds, so I I said, Tim, you know, if we still have this gap, let's keep blacks. I think that's probably going to be the better option for us, better durability. You know, the reds are quicker out of the gate, but I just thought the blacks would be better at the end. So I was worried because on a restart they were terrible. I had so much pickup on the tire, could barely get going. As soon as the tires cleaned up, I was just fine. So great job to this 2-car crew. I mean, we're getting after it, I'll tell you that.
I got a little bit of news for you too, Joseph. You are now the points leader over Elio Castroneves by 7.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I was wondering where Dixon was. I was looking at all the cars around me. I go, this has got to be a good points days for us. So, you know, we just got to keep it up. No mistakes. If we don't have any mistakes, we got plenty enough to win this championship. So we're going to keep in it. We'll see what we got for the last 4 races.
Just so you know, Dixon is now 3rd in points.